you join me at Castle Combe for the 2024 Spring Action Day. Show season has officially started. So, one of the main attractions at the 2024 Spring Action Day at Castle Combe is the drift displays. So, here I am in front of the drift cars, and obviously got to rep the Castle Combe merch. Join me as we talk to some of the drivers.
So I'm Ian Bis-Phillips and I drive the LS powered 350Z. Basically, this is no longer a 350Z. I think that we worked out today that the only thing left original on the car is actually the windscreen. It's got a 6.2 litre LS3 supercharged V8, so 800 horsepower, over 1,000 Newton meters of torque. Suspension is Fortune Auto, so completely adjustable. FDF lock kit, FDF rear end, Quaife sequential gearbox. The list just goes on. It is a purpose-built pro drift car.
My name's Carl Farrar. Everybody knows me as Dango. Today we're testing the LS3 powered S13. Obviously S13, really popular drift chassis. It's an American LS3 motor fitted. It's 590 horse, no supercharger, no turbo. Revs to 7,200. Wisefab front and rear. Quaife sequential, Winters rear differential. Basically, if you wanted a Christmas list of what to put on a car, it's got it on.
I'm Harry Love. This is my 1JZ Nissan S14. It's a 2004 chassis build, and there's loads to tell you about with it. This is not a stock S14, so it's got a 1JZ in it, which is running, I want to say, about 500 horsepower. That's then connected to a Hewland sequential gearbox. Now that is insane. That is so loud. It's actually louder inside the car to listen to the gearbox than the engine. And that's then connected to a 350Z re-diff that goes onto my wheels. Obviously, we strip everything out of a drift car. We literally only need steering and a powertrain. They have to be rear-wheel drive, and the diff have to be welded because we want the wheels on the rear to be spinning at the same speed. Obviously, you've got roll cage, a hydro, which helps us like lock up the rear handbrake. It's like a handbrake, but it's easier to kind of unload and use. Same goes for most people's cars. The differential is like, what gearbox have you got, what engine have you got, but underneath, they're all rear-wheel drive, welded diff cars.
It's a Hugh Guion Saville, and the car's a Toyota Corolla AE86. Here we are today with a 800 horsepower AE86 doing 120 mile an hour sideways. Fastest track we probably drift on. Like I said, going into quarry, we knock so 124 mile an hour on this at the last event. So we're going to try and go for the 130 today.
So when I started, it was actually my dad's friend. He'd been drifting for ages. I'd obviously been drifting on the internet, but I never really realised it was something you could actually just go out and do until he invited me to come do like a kind of a learn to drift session with him, and ever since that day I've been hooked. It made us buy a Lexus 200, and from there we built that up, put a turbo in it. I got better and better at drifting, and then we bought this thing, and it's kind of just taken me from there to here.
Yeah, so been drifting for around 15 years. We started basically, somebody took me on a car park in a Nissan Laurel and said, this is drifting. Loved it so much, bought the car on a credit card, drove it home, used to drive to Buxton, started at BDC, did something called European Drift Championship for a couple of years.
So a £50 BMW, and we went down to Pembrey kart track. And since then, it's financially ruined me.
I don't really do a lot of other motorsport. I'm not really interested in a lot of other sport. The reason for that is I like drifting because when you watch it, or when you're doing it, or when you're literally just like looking at drifting in general, you can analyse so much of what's going on. It's not just all cars going sideways. There's a lot to it. It's all about angle, speed, your smoothness, how much smoke's coming out the rear, how committed you are to a driving, like to a line and stuff. and I think all those kind of things together make me really excited about drifting. It's also an awesome feeling when you're in the car, flicking it side to side, knowing you're going ridiculously fast and knowing you're putting on a spectacle.
To be honest, I haven't really done a great deal of other motorsports. Drifting is my first. I still have never done a track day to this day, but I cannot beat the adrenaline that drifting gives us. You think about what we're doing out on the Castle Combe circuit today, travelling at about 100 miles an hour sideways into quarry, waving at the crowd and stuff like that as we go by, smoke pouring out. What isn't there to like?
It's not as kind of strict on all the rules and what you can build with the car. You can run pretty much any car, any horsepower, and kind of express yourself a bit better really, and it's just a lot less regimented, and if you want to go and show off in the car, drifting seems to be the best way to do it.
This car in particular has been a bit of a problem child. It's had 2 engine rebuilds in 2 years. We've driven it 3 times. This is the longest it's worked for. There's no wood I can touch, but we had a good last session. We just want to put a show on and have a good time really.
The best advice for anyone in the world to start drifting is to get a simulator. So if you're at home, the cheapest way and the best way to get loads of seat time in drifting is to buy a sim. So you get your PC, you download a set course and you have a simulator. And I know people that have spent 1,000 hours on there, got on a drift car, never driven before, and they are better than me sometimes when I started, right?
As I would always say, you don't need 1,000 horsepower and Wisefab, it's seat time. So get the car you can afford to run and do as much laps any way you can. That will make you a better driver. Also, the simulators are very good now. If you're very good on the sim, you'll be good in real life because the sim is harder than driving around in real life. But yeah, just get a car and get into it and start doing it.
My advice would be get lessons. Don't rush out straight away and buy yourself a drift car because you get yourself into bad habits, you get yourself into all kinds of expenses and stuff like that you don't need. I work with PH Drift, he's a coach, he even still coaches me at pro level. Get in to see him, he will teach you the basics and everything you need to get into competition. And at that point I'd recommend buying a car and getting out and trying yourself.
I would say, just get a cheap car, go down to your local track and try and get in as much seat time as you can really, and just build up slowly and just enjoy it, enjoy the journey.
So the Spring Action Day here at Castle Combe isn't purely about the drifting or the drifters. There are tons of display cars around and obviously tons of people who own them. So let's talk to some of them.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
My name is Liam Lewis. I drive a 2005 Mazda MX-5 NB.
My name's Adam Fear and I drive a Mazda RX-7.
My name is Tal Jahia. I'm a member of Welsh Ford Owners Club. I've been a member now for, say 12 years.
I'm Ian.
I'm Sarah.
We've been into German cars for quite a few years. I wanted to downsize something because I was normally driving a T5 Transporter. So I wanted something a little bit more sporty, a little bit more economical. So I got my Rocco nearly 2 years ago now. I went with the GTS because it's styled slightly differently. It just stands out a bit more than most of them.
I've always wanted a Mustang. I wanted the 5th generation. I heard Ford was bringing a right-hand drive version out, so I thought, I'll have a look at that style and see what the style's like. As soon as they showed an illustration of it, it was awesome. I said, yeah, that's definitely a car for me. I went from a Fiesta 1600 limited edition to a Mustang, a big jump, I know. Rear-wheel drive as well, 426 horsepower, you can't ask for more than that. If I put a supercharger on it, it'd be too quick for me, it's fast enough as it is.
Bought it from a company that already imported it. There was one owner in Japan and I'm the first owner in the UK.
Last year, my wife decided to join the club as well and she got a GTS.
I did, yeah. So I hadn't bought a new car for ages. I was driving an Audi before that for several years. You had your Rocco, didn't you? And I really wanted to get one. So I went online, saw this one straight away and absolutely loved it. Thought it looked brilliant. we had the day off work 5 days later because it was our wedding anniversary, and the colours of my car are our wedding colours, so it was kind of like it was meant to be. So we spent our wedding anniversary driving to Milton Keynes to go and pick my car up. Since November I've been to a couple of meets, haven't I, but it's my first show today that I've actually managed to bring my car to the event. But now it's getting to the spring and summer, there's going to be a lot more, so lots of fun to be had.
We're a new fan club, Ignition Legion, so if you want to come give us a follow and keep up on the build of the car, then feel free. Currently it's pretty standard, quite a few things done. It's got the exhaust system, BC racing camshafts, a spoiler, racing steering wheel, but big plans are turbo build coming, body kit's out waiting to go for it.
Modifications to the car, as you can see, mostly all the add-ons are carbon fibre. Some are dipped because I couldn't get them in the original. It's got airlift performance, 2000 watt sound system, Lambo doors, Rouge induction kit with Rouge back boxes.
It will be running between 5 and 550 horsepower, but at the moment it's only on baby boost as it's been rebuilt. Just been rebuilt. It's had a wire tack, the engine bay's all smooth, bigger injectors, bigger turbo, V-mount, titanium pipes. The engine's been out twice, one for a single turbo and all the wiring, and second for the build. Yeah, it's pretty much where I want it, to be honest.
Well, that's pretty much it for the Spring Action Day here at Castle Combe, and it's been absolutely fantastic. From the drifters to the public track time to the show cars, it's been fantastic, amazing, brilliant. And all I have to really say is that it truly feels like the car show season has officially begun.